Good evening, my air signs Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. This reading's for you. We're taking a look at your abundance right now. And abundance isn't always money, right? It could be a plethora of things. However, you're able to experience life, you could actually experience abundance in that way. And so we're going to take a look and see what that looks like for you right now. We're going to start with you, Libra. To start and take a look, I have a couple of decks I'm working with. My first one is Holy Well Money, not just about money though. Clarity. I have my Kipper and then my Divine Abundance. Let's see what Spirit has to say about this right now. I hope you guys are well. Like, share, comment. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. My name is Leticia. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you find a place to call home in this channel. Lots of things going on. And so, yeah, let's get started for Libra. All right, let's get started. Libra, the abundance for Libra. I have to go feed my babies. I looked up and I was like, oh no, they was looking a little crispy, my plant. So they good now. Gave them a nice little rain for it. So Libra, what about Libra's abundance do we need to know today? Your first card says making money is a powerful form of activism. You making money and having even more money is a particular potent form of activism. Activism is really making a statement being, when it comes to something that you believe in and amplifying that idea of that belief outwardly. Activism, right? Being active, what it is that you believe. Making money could be what that is right now. Perfectionism doesn't pay well. Presence does. I like this one. Perfectionism doesn't pay well. Presence does. Talking about getting paid, making money, getting the bag, Libra. Now, making money being a powerful form of activism, making more money and having even more wealth is a particular potent. It talks about your ability to really create what it is that you desire. I don't necessarily feel it's about the money, but it's more about your ability to create and to um, have this particular experience, right? In this lifetime, in this moment. And again, it's not even about perfection. This is more about present, like being present, not losing yourself to the money that you're making or this particular existence that you are manifesting and creating for yourself. It's not even that. It's about you being present for this time. I feel like for some of you, you could be having a really prosperous time. That's what it says. Making money. So you are kind of like, believers tend to be lucky anyway. And it feels like you are in like a high stream of wealth, of accumulating wealth. And this could be you just in your moment, like in your element, doing what you love to do and doing it well and enjoying it. And I think Spirit is bringing the idea that make sure that you are present for this moment and don't get lost in the moment, even if it is an abundance of, cash, money, the ability to get it. Make sure you don't get lost in um, this moment, that you don't allow yourself to really take note of what is creating this abundance, this wealth. I think it's more than just you being able to get out there and do something, but there's something else that's coming through here about enjoying and tapping into like your element while doing it. Pay attention to what that is. Pay attention to what that feels like. Do you even realize that you're tapping into your element and that's what's creating this moment of abundance for you? There's something about not needing to have everything like you needed, everything like you wanted, everything like perfectly aligned, but just being present for this moment and realizing what's taking place. The fact that you may be perfectly aligned. We talk a lot about doing what you love and it not feeling like you're working. But do we even realize when we hit that sweet spot? Or are we so busy enjoying the money that we don't even realize we've aligned in our perfect state? So your abundance right now, I feel like it's very well aligned. Somebody has hit their sweet spot here. Just don't miss it. Spirit is saying it's not about being perfect, it's about being present, right? What does it feel like being in this moment? Do you have any complaints? If not, what does that feel like? And would you be able to bring yourself back to this place? Would you be able to remember it when you need to? Okay. Being present is the wealth. That's what pays you. Being present. Let's see what comes out for the tarot for Libra. Thank you, Spirit, for Libra. Ooh, yeah. Somebody's really in their sweet spot. Judas. All right. So the cards that came out for you, Libra, is the Sun. The most happiest card of the deck, the little girl on the horse, on the unicorn, right? The Hanged Man, the Knight of Wands. There's something about this that feels very nostalgic. Like you may have dreamt of this moment, Libra, and there's something familiar about it. And maybe you forgot about the dream and you don't even realize you dreamt of it. But there's something that feels very familiar in this moment, almost kind of like a deja vu moment. I'm hearing, I'm feeling. And lastly, we have Eight of Swords. Right now, it really feels like you are having the time of your life. Um, and you may have never felt like this before. Like I said, it may feel nostalgic, but you know that you haven't had this experience. So why does it feel familiar? Because you may have dreamt it. You may have dreamt this moment. And that's why you feel that very nostalgic feeling, like that feeling of deja vu. Right now, you're in a period, I feel like for you Libras, you're in a moment, a period of prosperity right now, where things are just falling in line for you. This may have been a long time coming too. So enjoy this. Enjoy this moment, Libra. I feel like you earned it. And even if you have it, spirit feels like you're worthy of having this, no matter who don't like it and can't stand it, enjoy it. Because this is a period of prosperity where you may be getting, you know, some type of inner fulfillment that's really wooing you, right? It's wooing you. You may be receiving some type of recognition, in this moment. Enjoy your moment of fame, whatever that is, or honor. Your relationships may be really good, like the ones that are really important to you, may be really good and may be something that you are planning and scheduling things, where you can have fun in your relationships in the future. I see a lot of happiness far fetched in the future for you when it comes to your relationships. Yeah. And it doesn't mean it's always been that way, but there's something right now that feels really good with your connections. And so right now you're emotionally just fulfilled and filled up. It feels good. And this may be a time where you feel very secure as well, very secure in yourself. And like I said, there's something that's been a long time coming. And you may have just stepped into this moment of feeling like everything is just perfect. Like if we could just keep it right here, just keep it right here. We don't even have to go to the next minute, even though we know that's not the reality. But that may be how you're feeling. Like everything is just, it's just peachy cream is perfect. And so you may be feeling like woo woo woo, in your emotions, in your being soothed and coddled in many ways because everything is going really well right now. So actually, it feels really good for me feeling into your energy. It feels very abundant, fulfillment coming from every side, coming from within you, feeling very fulfilled. I also get now when it comes to understanding like what it is that you want that would make you happy or that would make you feel fulfilled and stable and secure, how you go about doing that, what type of things that you need to institute. I don't necessarily feel like this is clear. Like there's a lot of clarity with that. The hangman says that there could be things that are kind of paused for a minute because there's this reflection that's happening, or maybe it should be. There's a reflection that's happening right now where you are, where you need to kind of take a look and account for everything that has taken place before you move forward when it comes to how you will practically go about. Uh, and then it's not even necessarily keeping this energy going. I feel like you just hit a sweet spot, and it may not last forever because you have to work when it comes to planning long term and having the future set before you. I feel like that's still a great area for you, Libra. That may still be something that you are in the process of clarifying. That's what it feels like, but it's okay because the hangman says that there may be a need right here. There may be a need to take a moment and put your intentions and think about where you've just come from. Think about some of the things that you experienced in the past that led you to this point so that you can kind of set the pace, set the goal, set the intention, set the focus as you move forward. This may, in fact, be bringing the attention to what is needed. There may need to be some planning as you move forward, right? Um, and I feel like there could be some things that are changing about how you do things. It may be changing from how you have done things. And this could be around um, dealing with money. Those are things that are on the table. Your job, your career may be changing. There's something that's changing as you are taking a moment to recollect before moving forward. This could also be around how you deal in your connections and in your social life, right? That may be also changing as well. There's a lot of things that you need to understand in this movement, Libra. I feel is very important to your abundance as you move forward, to how you're going to experience life and be able to enjoy it and be able to really direct your own ship. I feel like it's really important to understand where you are and how you got there. Important. Um, Now, when I look at this Knight of Wands, I get a little worried. I'm not gonna lie, I get a little worried because the Knight of Wands can be hmm, can be very spontaneous and spur of the moment type of energy, taking lots of risks. And there's a time for that, but I feel like because we just got to be talking about anchoring in and being very intentional with what happens next. And then we go straight to the Knight of Wands, which kind of is a little concerning because then it says that it would be easily accepted to just wipe all of that work that this is calling in for you off the table and just move forward haphazardly with whatever comes next, right? But that's not what is needed here. That's not what spirit is saying when it comes to your abundance. Like this is going to be a time of freedom. I feel like it's going to be a good thing, a time where you're going to be able to explore and you're going to be able to really assert yourself in things that you want to do and in your creativity, mostly and how you want to move forward. Your actions may even have a bit of luck. Like I said, Libras are very lucky. The Knight of Wands brings that energy to you. And so you may not necessarily end up in a bad place if you don't take the time to do the intention, but it may not be as good as it could be if you put your whole self into this and not just move forward, just like whatever happens, happens, right? That's what I'm feeling. And so this needs a plan. That's what I feel like Spirit is saying here. It needs a plan. Though it could end up good if you just winged it, the Spirit is saying, don't you want it to be great, Libra? Good is okay, right? But don't you want it to be great? Don't you want it to be exceptional, right? Yeah. I feel like that's what this is bringing in a need to put yourself in the driver's seat, not of other people's lives, but of your life. Yeah, put yourself in the driver's seat. Um, I also feel like there is a little bit of intimidation with this change that's coming for you. This is a very beautifully feeling moment. And there may be, you may come upon a time where you're like, oh, this feels so good. And when you feel it changing, when you feel like the real world kicking back in and you having to get to the place where you need to do more work. Because I feel like we go through cycles, right? We get a moment where we get to rest and it's like, ooh, it feels so good. We have to come out of that though and get back to work and start doing the hard stuff, right? And then we go to another place where we get to rest and be like, okay, I did some work, now let's enjoy this, right? And so we go through cycles. I feel like you may come to a point where you might get a little bit anxious as things change, as the cycles change, as you come out of this very good feeling moment that you're having right now, however that lasts. Like it could last a while. It could be just a short moment of just feeling really good. But there's uh, something about you. I feel like it would do well for you to do like personal discovery would be good. Because the more that we know ourselves and understand ourselves, I feel like the less we get anxious and intimidated by change because things will always change. That's the fact. But we remain the same. We can, if we're sitting in who we really are, our authentic self, and allowing ourselves to evolve naturally. Like it no longer becomes as scary as it used to be. And we no longer are fickle like we used to be. We just continue to weather the changes, weather the storms as they come. And it doesn't change who we are. Things around us change, people change, our company change, but we remain the same. I feel like it would be beneficial, maybe even to do some self discovery, Libra, to find out a little bit more about yourself so that you don't feel any type of restrictions with changes that may be coming. Because it's not always going to feel this way. That's a fact, right? I'm sure you've had a difficult time getting to this place. So you know it don't always feel good like this. But the Eight of Swords is sometimes the reason why I said doing a little self-discovery and getting more rooted and grounded in who we are, because the Eight of Swords is really all in the mind. Sometimes the Eight of Swords can be holding ourselves hostage in a situation that we could have been released ourselves from or walked away from, but there's some mind game that's happening, whether we're playing with ourselves or whether it's our circumstances that playing tricks on us. There's a sense of being held back from something that's not even really real or even relevant, right? And so the Eight of Swords can be a little bit misleading and cause us to feel like we're trapped in ways that we're not. Now, this could also be about you deciding what it is that you believe about being abundant, about living a life that's going to be liberating for you and that's going to meet your needs, whatever that could be. You've always been free to make the choice and to travel in the direction that aligns with you. Now, I feel like this is going to cause you to have to really look at things for what they are and make very difficult decisions. Swords are all about thinking. They can be about making decisions. Like the main primary decision is will you free yourself? Will you allow yourself to be freed from what it is that you fear the most? Because it's a fear, it may not even be reality. We give it the power that it has, and so that you can live abundantly. Remember, abundance is an experience. Though there's a lot of money coming into your reading, this is about being present and you realize that this is created for you to enjoy it. It's not about getting wrapped up in the money. That's not where the happiness lies. That's not where the abundance exists. It exists in your experience in life. Okay. So the Eight of Swords is going to bring some challenge for you to really do some self work to get to know yourself so that you can move forward in a way that doesn't restrict you mentally, where you don't restrict yourself. Because really, that's what this is. We can't fit it on nobody else because we chose not to take chances that or opportunities that we had because we were intimidated of change or because we didn't want the uncomfortableness of changing, right? We can't blame that on anybody else because we don't take those chances to go after what it is that we're being called to. And so I feel like that's going to be something that comes up for you here. Yeah, it's abundance. What else do you need to know? All right, so we have journey, expectation, home, there's two here, great fortune, convene, and main character. Spirit is saying this is about you, Libra. It's about you. Now, I do feel like this is something that you may have waited for a while. I don't know if you've been just in a difficult place for a long time. You may have waited for this bit of respite. I feel like this is a respite for Libra. You may have waited for this for a while. And I hope you're able to enjoy this moment. If this is for you and this is speaking for you and you're resonating with the energy that's coming out in this reading, I hope you are able to allow yourself to enjoy it. Because I feel like you've reached a moment that has been created for you to rest and for you to be recharged and to get some recuperation. Like this comes to let you know that your hard work will pay off. And that if you aim and set goals and intend, like there is real power behind not only those words, but those actions, those energies. And I feel like this has been a long time coming. And I also feel like there's more. So this is just one moment in time. There's more along your spirit is saying here. It's all about how we look at things, what it is that we are expecting, what we're expecting. And there's something too here about where it is where you're laying your head, like your place of residence. Uh, I don't know why I'm hearing change. Are you changing? Are you thinking about moving, Libra? This feels like stability and success. Having the place of, it feels like right now you feel very grounded and there's something very foundational with what you are building or what you have built. It's very strong. Um, yeah, very strong. I feel like and resilient. So something that you built for yourself, like wherever you've landed right now today, cannot be removed. You can't be easily removed from this place. It feels like you've worked very hard to get to where you are right now. I just hope that you understand that and you allow yourself to be present in this moment. That feels really good to you. Great fortune comes out too. This is a time that things are just very abundant. How are you experiencing your abundance right now, Victor? Money comes out, number one, but we know it's not just about money. I also see a great sense of happiness that's just really in your heart space. It feels like you're getting a lot of fulfillment right now. Maybe even a lot of attention and recognition. And your relationships are very fulfilling for you. Like you are very abundant, Libra. Your fortune is great right now, just all around you. I see all of the colors of the rainbow in your aura. All of the colors of the rainbow are surrounding you in your aura, very vibrant. People may be drawn to you right now. Maybe something that's very glowy about you. If someone told you that you're glowing, that may be kind of you in this moment, just really feeling special. You are special. We all are, but you may be really feeling that, right? Um, I do feel like you play the main character in a lot of people's stories right now. I don't know why I'm feeling like there are those that are waiting to see you again. Like they're waiting to continue a conversation or some kind of Um, it's almost like they want to pick up right where you left off. Somebody may be waiting to see you again, or sit down and talk, or pick up something that was dropped. I don't know. I do feel like people are thinking about you, Libra, and wanting to contact you possibly. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But someone's eager to see you again. Someone's eager to see you again. I don't know if it's someone that watches from afar. It could be, and really wants to know like how you're doing for real. Okay. So let's see. Last message for Libra. Libra's abundance. Somebody asking right now, how do you be present? For the one asking that question, the way that you be present is you take the time to stop in your day to look around and take account of everything that you have, right? You take the time to stop and listen to your heart. If you get quiet enough and still enough, you can feel your heartbeat through every inch of your body when you focus on that part of your body. Take the time to stop and look at the people that support you, the people that you have in your life that show up for you, the people that encourage you, the people that challenge you to not give up on yourself or take the easy road. You take the time to stop and look at yourself in the mirror and just smile at yourself. First off, smile at the beauty that you see reflecting back at you in the mirror. Smile at the handsome that's smiling at you, and thank yourself for not giving up all those times that you wanted to. Take the time to stop and look at all of the privileges that you've been granted every day. If you walk to work, the fact that you're able to walk, you don't have to have someone usher you around. If you drive to work, the fact that you're able to drive from A to B, right? Just take the time to stop and reflect and to pay attention to what's happening in that moment that makes your life abundant. That's what it means to be present, to stop and be still and observe and be grateful and thankful, right? Realize how privileged you are. That's what it means. That someone had that question, that's your answer. What is the last message for Libra? Last message. Libra. You'd be surprised how that changes the energy in your day when you do that. Mm. Just doing that has just amped up my vibe, my energy. It just amped it up just now, just doing that. So the last message is about self-love, extraordinary, and expansiveness. Yeah, so we already know what this is about. It's about you recognizing the gift that you've been given in this life, the gift of life, right? You being able to, first of all, love yourself all the way down, all the way back to the child that you were a long time ago. Looking, and I'm hearing, looking back at some of the desires that you had as a child as well. Love yourself, give yourself space. That sun brings out that energy, the inner child. There's an opportunity to do something that you've always wanted to do, Libra. Love yourself and provide space for that, for your inner child to be satisfied. There might be some things that you were never able to do as a child. Well, now that you are up and about and you have that will to do it. Nothing's holding you back from doing that. But this is about allowing you to bring down that wall that would separate you from your inner child. Spirit wants you to welcome that energy in. Allow yourself to be vulnerable to your inner child. That's what it means to love yourself. Just because you're grown and you've passed the general legal age of being an adult, that don't mean you have to stop loving yourself as a child. Like that's part of who you are as well. Someone may need to take a moment to really take care of themselves like never before. And that may mean putting a pause on taking care of other people while you take care of yourself. Someone may need to make a routine, make a habit to fill. Because there's something about you that deserves to be honored. This is the second time that energy is coming up about being honored. You deserve it. There's something very special about you, Libra. Libra. You're different. There's something different about a Libra, something extraordinary. And even though all of you are different in your own way, you all hold this very unique about you that is very beautiful and it's different, but it's beautiful. It's you that no one else can copy because it's been given to you and only you. That's what makes you unique. Let that part of you shine and don't hide it. Don't let anyone make you feel any kind of way about it. Okay. That's why it was given to separate you from the rest. Okay. And there's something too about that presence that we were just talking about that leads us to this expansiveness. And when we tap into that energy, we start to release all of those restrictions that we had once placed on ourselves. And it may have been something that happened, that caused us to restrict ourselves in some type of way. But this is your season to release yourself. Because when we tap into presence, we're really tapping into this energy of eternity. And when we tap into that energy, there's no restriction. That energy is expansive and it is open to creativity. It's not rigid, it's not constrained, or it's not exhausted, and it's not egoic either. It's expansive. And so I feel like for whoever you are, when you allow yourself to adapt to that presence and understand that that's what's causing your abundance. Go back to the main card that we pulled in the beginning. Perfectionism doesn't pay well. Presence does. That's what's paying you. That's what's causing you to be abundant. You allow yourself to be present. It adds on to the experience and invites in even more of what is present. That's the concept of gratitude. Gratitude is the welcoming of more. It says, I'm grateful for what I have. If you never give anything else, this is enough. And I'm grateful. However, because we live in an expansive universe that is all about abundance, I'm open, right? I'm grateful and I'm open. I'm able to receive as much as you're able to give. And we know the universe is abundant. So grasp that energy of presence. Take care of yourself. Be open to your inner child, is what Spirit is saying. And realize how unique you are, how unique your experience is. It's not like anybody else's, and it's just for you. That's your abundance, Libra. I feel like you are having a moment, a level up moment, but this is like there's so much more that Spirit wants to show you and offer you. Okay. This is just the tip of the ice. So that's for you, Libra. Thank you so much for enjoy this glowing moment that you're experiencing. These Libras are very hard working when it comes to how they show up and how they treat people and how they represent like themselves. I think Libras are very beautiful people. They carry just this very unique energy. I appreciate the Libras. And so I hope this spoke to you, Libra. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, take care of yourself. My name is Leticia. Like your comment, and we'll see you next time. It's about your abundance. Bye. Hello, Aquarius. How are you today? I hope you are well. Blood Moon Oracle here. My name is Letty, and we're going to take a look at your abundance right now. I hope you guys are well this evening. And we are halfway through the week, the work week, anyway, for some of us. We're taking a look at your abundance. I just want to say, abundance is more than money. It is a privilege that we're given in life. In any way that we're able to experience life, I believe that we're able to experience it abundantly. We're able to have abundance in that way. However, you're able to actually experience the energies in these bodies. There's a opportunity to experience that in an abundant way. And so we're going to take a look and see what Spirit has to say. Very interesting messages has come out. And so let's take a look at your abundance. I'm using a few different decks. First of all, my Oracle deck. This is a new deck I'm using. It's called Holy Wow Money. It's about more than just money that you'll see. And so the messages that come out, I'm also using my Clarity deck, my Kipper, another abundance oracle deck. So your first message from the Holy Wow Money oracle deck says, my clients come to me for me. They choose me for exactly who I am and am not. Don't forget that, Aquarius. Your clients choose you because of who you are. They also choose you because who you're not. Like, it's very intentional. I feel like is what Spirit is saying. Don't forget that. So, yeah, let's read the other one. Every day I shift into another version of myself. This shit works. Listen, if it works, go with it. But I feel like what Spirit is saying here is understand what you bring. It's something very authentic and something very unique. Like Spirit is saying that you are sought out, right? Because of who you are. You're sought out for that reason. And when people are looking for something specific and they choose you, it's for a specific reason, right? There's no mistake about it. So whatever that is, Spirit is saying, don't forget it. I don't know if you've forgotten some very important aspect of who you are, what makes you you. Maybe you feel like you may need to tweak something, but Spirit is saying, wait a minute, hold on before you go, you know, doing all these little extra things. You are evolving in a way that does not cater to people. I feel like somebody may need to hear this. When you evolve, it's because you're needing to grow or there's something that's being added to who you are that's going to embellish who you already are. It's not because you're trying to fit somebody's mold. When you're evolving, that's what works, right? That's what works. And that's what Spirit is honing in on. Talk about your abundance. I feel like, and I've said this many times too, when we talk about what is ours, we never have to worry about losing anything because if we lose it, that means it was because what was meant for us will never avoid us. We'll never miss it, right? We'll never miss it. And the more, I feel like the more we sit in ourselves and who we truly are called to be, the more we are attracting those that are meant to come towards us, right? And the more we don't do that, the more we're repelling people that are meant for us, right? And so it only serves you when you realize that you are who you are on purpose. Like there's no mistake about it. And there's something about you attracting your abundance right now that may very well depend on you just being very accepting of this. But don't try to fix it up, pop it up, or sugarcoat it, or it is what it is for a reason, though. For a reason, Aquarius. Spirit is saying that. So I could be speaking to someone who is out there like that. There's something very important about how you present yourself. And it could be very much tied to your abundance. It could be tied to what you do for a living. It could be tied to who you are and how you carry yourself and how you want to be seen in the world, how you reflect your presence out to the world and how you want to be received, right? And so there's something about your abundance coming in around that, around you understanding exactly who that is that you've been called to be and using that very skillfully, right? Using that very skillfully, but also being very accepting of who you are, right? Not having to feel like you have to put a mask on, because, you know, those that are called to you are called to the authentic you for who you are and for who you're not. They're chosen. They've chosen you for a reason. There's that. So there's something about identity. I feel like it's peeking out here. Let's get some tarot. Something about identity speaking out here. I feel like a little mixture here going on for Aquarius. Yes. Okay. And you could be someone with multiple authentic personalities. There's something here about being able to shift in and out and having that shit work for you, right? That's what the card said. This shit works, right? And so there could be something about you being able to, like, you know, navigate the terrain when it comes to you being able to present yourself, right? Listen, if you got it like that, you got it like that. And I feel like you could be somebody that is able to, like, fit in any crowd and show up and be really comfortable and, like, shift from authentic self to authentic self. You could be somebody that's like, I don't know why I'm hearing ambidextrous, but you could be ambi-personal, right? Is that a word, y'all? I'll be making up words. You could be somebody that's able to, like, shift into different, parts of yourself in order to meet the need of a situation. That's just what I'm getting. Listen, take it if it resonates. If it don't, just leave it. And so we have the Eight of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Listen. And so I do feel like there could be some things that you have, or you could be really focused in on and attentive to when it comes to how you may be noticing or have taken note of and is really focused on, like, how you're experiencing life emotionally right now. There could be specific things that you're working on to try to maybe or try to mend some gaps in hearing or master something. Maybe how you relate to others. There's something about mastery or working really hard with how you are receiving, how you are connecting, like, with the things or the people that um, make you feel some kind of way. I don't know how to interpret that, but this is like doing some work around how you're experiencing life right now. Yeah, you may have um, noticed, like, some things and it could be something as simple as, like, oh, this irritates me so much when it happens. And it could be something that you can't avoid. And so instead of trying to change a situation or a person, you're, like, trying to really master and grow and evolve within yourself, right? It could be like something like that. Um, but there's something about um, you working really hard on what you feel like you need. You working really hard on, things that will make you feel secure. You're doing the work within, okay? Whatever that might entail, whatever that might reveal about what's needed, you are doing the work on yourself so that you can have the experience, the emotional, abundant experience that you want to have in life. I feel like there's a lot of work that's being done around how you are experiencing life emotionally. I also feel like there's a lot of success around how you are understanding what's needed. I feel like there's a lot of support. You may be even within a group or a community that's working on the same thing. So you have lots of support, lots of stability, and a lot of harmony right now with what you're working on, or some of the things that you're wanting to explore. Like, you can have close knit group or community that you guys are like minded and you work together. You are able to celebrate together with your wins, right? There's something about having common understanding that doesn't just sit with you, but it sits with a group of people that are around you that give you a sense of stability. You might find yourself doing and planted in this energy with groups. And that may be the reason why this self identity is coming up so heavily for you. Because it's all dandy, just doing things alone. You don't have a lot of friction until you start to want to join in on a community level. That's when you have all of these challenges because you have all these different personalities, all these different egos, all these different ideas and values coming together. It can be chaotic. And it can be even more chaotic to keep a grip on yourself so that you don't slip into other identities and expectations, right? It's just a whole plethora of stuff that could come up. But this feels like there's like this very good understanding that you've developed because you have been in this particular environment, in this energy where there's shared success, lots of contentment too. I also feel like you've been through a lot, Aquarius. You have been through a lot. You've done a lot of work, on yourself and on your situation. I feel like you have learned that, one of the tough lessons that you may have really come to understand is that you can weather any difficulty. Tough times don't last always. It's just one moment in time. Those are just a couple of things that we say to ourselves. Through difficult times. It's not as long as giving me like this warrior energy. Like you have come through so much stuff. Like you have developed this level of resiliency when it comes to how you utilize your abundance and things that you have at your disposal, um, and challenges around that, hard times when things don't come easy. It feels like you have done a lot of challenges around that. And it's not just with yourself. I feel like it's with others and with yourself. I also feel like you've been waiting for some opportunity too. You've been waiting for some opportunity. I feel like I'm sitting here and I'm feeling or I'm seeing someone with this very eager anticipation. It feels like you're waiting to get a chance to do something or to implement something. You know how you have all these good ideas and you've been just sitting back for like 10 years and you've been planning and you've been writing down all your ideas and all your strategies and you've been gathering up all of your resources. So when you launch it or when you get ready to do it, like you're going to do it 110%. I feel like you've been really just waiting and planning for some great unleashing. And I feel like it's coming. I feel like it's coming. I feel like the planning is going to pay off. And though you've had to wait and work and probably deal with a lot of things that have been unpleasant, like there's going to be the opportunity ahead that's going to allow you to do that. Whatever this is, it's going to be something that will be. I believe it will be abundant. If for nobody else, it's going to be abundant to you. And it's going to give you a chance to just unleash all of the creativity that you have within. I think that's going to be the greatest enjoyment. It's not even whether or not it's going to be successful. It's going to be you unleashing the deep depths of your soul through what you feel like you've been created to do. That's what it feels like. Waiting to do what you've been created to do. That is your abundance, your creativity, what you've been given to pour out to the world. That's where you get most of your enjoyment, I feel like, for who I'm talking to. Like you get enjoyment doing other things. Like you could be somebody that's very stylish and that likes to, present themselves as very strong. You get pleasure out of a lot of little things, little ways that we are able to allow ourselves to show up. There's a lot of pleasure in that, but there's something about you getting pleasure with really unleashing. the depths of your soul out to the world, whatever that is. That's your abundance. And if you have not, I feel like you're going to have the opportunity to do that because you're just the type that you're not going to miss the opportunity. You're not going to miss it. You could be across the world and need to get back home, which is a couple of continents or a couple of states away. And you're the type that will sit at a train depot and wait for an empty boxcar to pass by so you can hop on it and carry yourself a couple of states right on back home, right? Determination, tenacity. That's who I'm talking to. And I feel like you've come to a place where you are just like very grounded and solid in who you are. And you're not afraid to say that. You're not afraid to be that. You're not afraid to actually demand that, right? That's what the Queen of Swords gives me. Someone who knows a lot about themselves and a lot about things. Someone who demands to be in the know so that they don't get left behind. Just kind of like powerhouse energy. I feel like you are someone who is abundant in that you are this source. Um, Everything that you are is just, you can't help but share it. You can't help but be it. Just by being in your presence or knowing you, there is some level of sharing happening. There's some level of, um, there could be those that even live vicariously through you because there's just such a strong force, a strong life force that I feel in you, Aquarius. Um, and you are very strong about that. Whatever it is that you believe about your abundance, it's not a secret. And you don't try to hide it, like, and you don't play about it either, right? You know exactly what you're talking about because you have done your homework. And so this doesn't come off as something that's like slight, but for the Aquarius, if you know, you know. Right? If you know, you know. Um, your beliefs about your abundance, I feel like is very strong and it's solid, whatever that is. It may not align with everybody else's, but it's solid. You know what you are and what you need and what you believe. Let's see. How to somebody down. Listen, you do not want to get into a debate with me. You have to go get all the facts, all the statistics, um, you know, all of the recent cases that came before, you don't want to don't do it. And so I feel like you have this very strong spiritual belief about your abundance, whatever that is. It could be that you create your own, origin, your own situation when it comes to your abundance. You could be someone that takes full ownership of that and don't feel like you have to coddle to get that or follow behind anybody or kiss any ass, right? Listen, you take full ownership of what that is and bringing that to life and manifesting that. Um, because you're someone I feel like that don't want to be told what to do. Like, yeah, you're someone with the Queen of Wands. Like you are very matter of fact. It's like I can do that by myself. Why would I need, all of this extra stuff? So we have high honors, hope, great water, main character, and sorrow. Okay. And so I do feel like that you have experienced great feats. You have, and you will experience a great amount of more feats that will bring a lot of abundance for you. I feel like equally so, you've experienced a lot of sorrow. Um, but I do feel like there's going to be some rewards coming. I don't know if I'm talking to someone who maybe about to graduate. I have high honors here. Someone sitting here with a cap and gown on. Someone maybe about to graduate some type of program, some type of ushering you into more abundance and not just money, but opportunities, more of a presence, more of an ability to actually stand in what it is that you've learned, right? There's going to be more presence and more honor coming towards you for you dedicating your time to this and dedicating your energy, to a higher learning to master something other than yourself. There's a lot of abundance that comes out when we decide to do that. And so this is you being ushered to the next level, being ushered to a place where opportunities will open up to you, where you're going to be able to demand more of what it is that you feel like you're worth. And it looks really good, right? With great hope. Whatever your expectations are very much within reach. And I feel like you're very hopeful, very optimistic. And again, solid support around you, around this, around your abundance, what you're moving towards. Um, Main character, there's a female here. You could be a female. She has the afro, right? You could be a female. You could be African American, like, or you could be connected with this image, the African American female. But there's something about sorrow coming out here that I'm going to get more information on. Why is sorrow here for Aquarius' abundance? Why is sorrow here? Why is sorrow here for Aquarius' abundance? So I have court official and good outcome. I don't know if somebody has had legal issues and if it has come from a close place that was close to your heart or from within this place where you have all of your support and sense of community and stability. It feels like there could have been something legal that came out of that. Though it seems like with good outcome, you may actually end up winning this. There's still like a sour taste in your mouth for even having to go through this, for even having to go through this. And so, there's always lessons to learn. When we're talking about our abundance, like things could be really good. Things could be like off the Richter, everything going our way, and having a lot of success in our endeavors, having really good connections in our relationships, just loving on ourselves and really healthy mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and something will grow up as a thorn in the patch of roses. It will be the weed that grows up, that tries to strangle everything. Sometimes it doesn't say very much about who we are. Sometimes it could be keeping us on our toes. It could be keeping us honest. It could be keeping us growing. Who knows why we have to endure situations. This feels like it could be something to do with legal proceedings, maybe something about court, but it says it's going to have a good outcome. But I feel like it could leave you disheartened, whatever it is. Sorrowful, sorrowful, sorrowful. It's a hard word to say. Sorrowful. Say that. Sorrowful. Why is that so hard? It may leave you sorrowful, Aquarius, even if you do win. Or the good outcome could be finally being done with the situation. Like you don't even care. You just want it to be over. And so this could be something where you end up, you know, more abundant in the long run. And remember, abundance is not just money, it's experience. I don't know anything more abundant than ridding yourself of greed, right? Of a bad element. Finally, there may be something that's just finally coming to a close, finally. And now you can move on. And you get to walk away with the lesson behind it, whatever that could be. Somebody didn't like that. I'm sorry. We don't take them though. All right, we have humility, right action, letting go, and flow. Okay. Besides the point of these cards being thrown at me, okay, I'm sorry. Humility comes out first. Then we have right action. We have letting go. And lastly, we have flow. Okay. And so there's something here about always, lessons sometimes the beauty of is humility. Sometimes it teaches us humility. Sometimes success teaches us humility too. But there's something about um, not even being humbled by lessons. This is also you realizing um, there's a certain level that we do feel like, hey, I am, what's the word? I am independent, I'm sovereign. But the real truth of the matter is we will always need divine assistance. And there's the difference of realizing when we need to stop and humble ourselves and ask for direction, for guidance, um, and be willing to receive it, right? This might be reminding you to not forget to pray, not forget to ask for guidance and assistance, and to connect with your divine source, whatever that is for you. I know it's different for all of us. Some people call it God, some people call it Jesus, some people call it the universe, some people look to their ancestors, some people look to the angels, some people look to their spirit guides, right? And some people may even look to their higher selves. So, whatever that is recognizing the need, if we're going to look outside of ourselves, connect to our divine source, whatever that is, yeah, and ask for direction and guidance, and the ability to humble yourself and ask for help when needed. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. Because when the real truth of the matter is only God, only the divine can give us true abundance. We can have all the money in the world, and there's lots of ways we can get it and never be happy. We see it on Hollywood, right? We can have all the finest things and never be satisfied or fulfilled. And then we can turn around and have something as simple as conversation, 2-minute conversation, and walk away with more fulfillment, more contentment, feeling more love than we did with 10 years of prosperity, right? And so when we ask our divine to give us the desire of our heart, to give us, not what we're asking for, but divine, you teach me what would be good for me. You give me the desire of my heart. Somebody needs to hear this. All you have to do is ask, and he will, she will, it will, however you see your source. I also have the ability to let go. That comes out in two of these cards, right action and letting go. It's talking about letting go, not wanting to control the moment that you are in right now. Just enjoy it. Like whatever comes, let it come. Whatever goes, let it go. Control is really just an illusion. We never had it, really. If we really want to get real, we never had it. But we sit in this place where we can be uh, very content and very powerful too. And we're at our most powerful when we don't use it. We're just content and grateful. And we already have, and it is okay, whatever it is. That's when we're most powerful, when we don't need anything. And it's amazing how that works. As soon as you pray and you let it go, or you manifest and you let it go, and you just going about your business, that's yeah, there it is. But as long as you looking for it and preparing and begging and pleading and trying to find it, it be running from you like hot, like Satan's toenails in the summer, right? But there's something about just releasing and letting go that places you right in the center of your abundance. It brings everything right to you, Aquarius, right to you. And you learn that you never have to even try to control anything. It's always in the hands of the divine. It always has. What relief that is. I don't have to control it. Okay. Well, let me just enjoy. And then flow comes too, which is what we're talking about. Just being able to move with calmness and peace. And whatever happens, happens. Right? Not that you should just lay there and not do anything. You understand what I'm saying. Enjoy life without having to control life and with accepting the flow of life. I enjoy this inspirational speaker. I forget her name. I think they call her Abraham. And Abraham is her one of her guides that speaks through her when she's speaking inspirationally. And she always talks about the river, flowing up the river, and imagining yourself just flowing with the current, not swimming against it, just flowing. And it usually takes you wherever it is that you need to be. And when it's time to get off, it'll usually deliver you. When you need to get off of the water, of the current, it'll deliver you to get off, right? But allowing yourself to just flow. And she calls it ease. Living a life of ease, right, is the most enjoyable thing that we can experience. And that's we get to experience true abundance. I feel like I have learned it's something that I have been trying to understand and live and experience and really internalize. And as close as I've been able to get to that, it is true. That's where abundance lies. I feel like the more I let go and release and just allow things to flow, the more things flow to. It's true. And so there's something about your abundance just being right there. Just let it go. Someone's abundance is within their ability to really recognize uh, not who you are, but just kind of there's this acceptance that aligns with your abundance, not having to control, just going with the flow, not being too afraid to open up and accept, direction and guidance from your source. Like everything you have in that arm's length, I feel like. And you have a really good perception. You have a really good relation with your abundance. I feel like with the Queen of Swords, not a lot escapes the Queen of Swords. Like she knows, she knows. Most importantly, she knows how to navigate and get it right. And there's something about your abundance too, about bringing in a little bit of balance, allowing things to kind of just flow for your sake. It would be more enjoyable. Yeah, you could go get it. You done did that, like, but to allow it to just come to you and flow to you is like the greatest joy. That's where your abundance lies, Aquarius. That's what I hear Spirit saying is in you being able to flow and release and tap into that energy of ease. There you will find everything and more. I love the more part. Yeah. Even as we read about you showing up and attracting those that see you for what it is that they're looking for and they choose you for what it is that they don't want. Well, even that is part of that. Showing up as yourself is allowing it to flow. But also this other part that knows how to get in sync and show up in what's needed, and that works too, right? There's something like just flowing with it. Like yeah. And so taking the bitter with the sweet too. There was something that came in that was like a thorn in somebody's flesh, right? But it's gonna end up in a good way. And so your abundance is definitely all around you. It's all around you. You have experienced it, Aquarius. Spirit is talking about a different way of experiencing it through release, through ease, just letting it come to you, which may be a change. Because I definitely feel like I'm talking to go getters You feeling this energy of heat and actually seeing more things show up than when you was going to get it. You're going to be like, wow, wow, right? And so that's what I feel like Spirit is saying about your abundance. I hope this resonated for you. I know sometimes I be all over the place, but I be trying to keep it together, y'all. But thank you for stopping by, Aquarius. This has been your abundance reading. It has been. Thank you. And as you shift every day in that other version of yourself, remember, this shit works. Okay? So let it do what it do and just flow with it. Okay? All right. Thank you, Aquarius, for stopping by. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye. All right. Next is Gemini. Hi, Gemini. How are you doing? Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led to do so. My name is Leticia, and you are watching Blood Moon Oracle. We're taking a look, Gemini, at your abundance. As you know, abundance is not just about money. It is about you being able to enjoy overflow in every area of your life. You know, as we think of living, it is through these vessels, through energy, in these vessels that we get to live. And so, in every way that we are able to and experience life in these vessels through the energy, there is the opportunity to experience that in abundance. In abundance, it's not just about money, finances. This is about every area of life that we experience. It's possible to, have abundance in that way. And so we're going to tap in and see what Spirit has to say about your life right now. To abundance for you. So I have a new deck. It's called Holy Wow Money, but it's not just about money. It's about the principle of this thing we call money, or we call it currency. This is that energy that provides us, this bit of, and I'm going to say, ways that we can activate different kinds of power in our life. That's all money is. And when we look at it in a greater scale of being this energy that's interchangeable in different ways, and in life, it becomes this greater principle than just money, right? Money is kind of like an exchange, if I could say that. It's more than what we believe it is, and it's less than what we believe it is too at the same time. And so when she says money, I think she's talking about a greater currency that we call money. Because when we think of money, we think of happiness, we think of power, we think of access, but there's other ways to get that. It's not just through money, though it's the same concept as money, right? And so for you, I pulled two cards, Gemini. It says, I now choose to claim my full power and authority in this world. It is now safe for me to be in my full power and authority. And may I add that it has always been safe. There's some realization that someone is having right now that they realize, listen, it's time to stop playing small. Like, it's time to really do what we came here to do. And it has always been. We just came to that realization. That's when everything changes. Right? And so right now, someone has the opportunity, someone may have already chosen to step into this energy. Okay? Like I said, this is not just about money, that's the name of the deck, but this is something greater. This is something greater. We always isolate money to mean one thing, but it's so much greater than that. Your other card says, my exact words is the answer to someone's prayer today. My work changes lives. I like this. I like this one. And so there's something about you stepping into your power and speaking, because there is an And this may be something that someone does for work. They speak or they communicate in some kind of way that alters the perception of those around them or alters people's reality. Words are powerful too, right? That's another thing that we understand. Words are powerful too. And so there's something when we're talking about your abundance, it may be tied up in you stepping into your position, what you've come here to do. For someone that may be something about communication and you being some chain breaker, I'm hearing you being some peace bringer, I'm hearing some world changer. There's something that exists when we talk about your abundance that you operate in. This is how you step into your abundance by utilizing what you've come here to do, Gemini. For some of you, you already know this. It's just confirmation. For those of you that are listening, you're like, yeah, it's time. Maybe this is confirmation of what needs to happen, of what you've come to do. Maybe this is announcement, like that is awakening something within you, letting you know, yeah, you always knew you had, this certain way with words, but now you're being more intentional about it, or maybe now you understand that you've been called to actually do something with that, not just sit on it. Right? You are the answer to someone's prayer. That is your work. That is the nature of your abundance. For someone, it's your work. Yeah. And it's a choice. It's a choice. And when you do that, Spirit wants you to know that you're protected. Okay. Let's get some tarot here for Gemini's abundance. Gemini's abundance. Gemini's abundance. Hey, I knew this was coming up. I saw this on the way. So we have Five of Swords for you, Gemini. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the King of Cups. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like something is changing. Something is changing with you. Not that it was something that you invite. This is not a change that you woke up one day and was saying, I think I want to change. This is the change that comes as a result of difficulty or hardship or just like friction, and so I do feel like there's some uneasiness that you may be feeling right now when it comes to how you are experiencing life. It feels, mm, look at this picture. What does it make you feel? We see the thunder striking in the back. The clouds are like the swords have this gleam at the very bottom, like they're about to strike any moment. Like there's just a lot of tension for some reason right now. Um, I don't know why I feel like feeling shut in or restricted in some type of way is how I'm feeling. And that may be because there is trying to avoid this outburst or this outbreak from happening, right? And so when you are going out and about, you avoid certain places because you know there's the possibility of a um, crash. You know, there's a possibility of a crash. And so you avoid certain places and certain people because you just don't want to give in to that right now. So it feels like what you're feeling is the right thing is to avoid it altogether, just to avoid this big scene, this big crash from happening. So I don't feel like there's a lot of um, enjoyment emotionally right now. It feels very conflictual. And it may be uh, around, I just feel like it's like misalignment. There's misalignments right now. And because of that, there's not a lot of emotional abundance that you're able to feel right now. It feels very conflictual. But there's always a silver lining, right? So let's see. Now, as I look further along with the cards that came out for you, this also feels like there's a recognition. You understand what's not aligned for you. And not only do you understand it, but you are willingly walking away from what's not aligned to you. Like you have developed this understanding that it's better to just move forward than to stick to places and things that is not going to provide any value for you. Like you're square with that, right? You understand that very well. And so when it comes to things that you know is not going to add to your abundance, you're quick to move it on, right? To keep it stepping, to keep it moving. And so, and you don't mind letting things go. You don't mind cutting your losses either. I feel like you are very stern with that. That's a lesson that you have learned. And you practice it as well. It has nothing to do with emotion, though this is cups, 8 of cups. It has nothing to do with intellectual. This is just what has been ingrained in you at some point. There's some lesson you've learned that has taught you to cut your losses when you realize that there is nothing to gain, right? You may find yourself walking away from things. Like I said, it feels like you are feeling a little cornered in, like when you go out and about. This is just an example. You could be avoiding certain places and things just because you know the potential outbreak that could happen. Right? There could be a possible crash out that happens, and so you avoid it. Um, so there's not a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of contention around your emotional fulfillment right now in life. It doesn't feel like you're getting a lot out of it. As far as enjoyment, I don't see a lot of that for you for some reason. There's some contention around that for some reason. But there's something that's being learned. One is just understanding what's not for you, what you have done. The other is understanding your value in the situation, despite what's happening and what's not happening, right? There's some greater discovery that you are seeing and learning is your value in the places that you've been placed in this lifetime, in these situations that you've been placed. There's like some greater understanding of why you are here, I feel like. And this taps you in. I feel like this is where you might be getting some of that fulfillment from. It's not necessarily outside of yourself right now. You're not seeing a lot that's thrilling you right now, causing you to enjoy life. But I feel like there's a lot going on within you, a lot of discovery, a lot of inner care and inner fulfillment that's happening within you that's causing you to grow into this very valuable resource because there's something that you do. And we found that in the cards here. It's like my exact words is the answer to someone's prayer today. That means that you give value to people in some type of way. My word changes lives. You give value to people in some kind of way. And one of the things about understanding what your work is on a high thriving level, on a high level, is that work has been given not for you to fulfill, not only for you to fulfill in other people's lives, but it was also given for you to be fulfilled. So it's a two-way sword. It's a two-way street. When you tap into your gifts and you open up and you allow them to be fulfilled and you allow them to help and to cause other people's lives to be more abundant, guess what that does? That turns around then and actually ricochets back on your life. And it causes your life to become more abundant. I feel like that's what's happening for you. There's this realization that's happening here of your value. And that may be why there's such a stigmatism around you right now. There's might be something that's being, I don't know, cleansed, purified. There may be something that's being uh, cut, separated, you know, something like that, so that you can be ushered into a place that's going to actually give you access to more abundance. Yeah, because the King of Cups is abundant, baby, and you can't tell him nothing. Listen, nothing about himself or his experience. So there's something here about you realizing, um, like the importance of your work, the importance of you stepping into your power, what you've come to do. And it has everything to do with your authenticity, your authority, you knowing who you are in the world and not being afraid to be that. I feel like that might be your focus right now. That's what you're focused on. That's what's leading you into the future, Gemini. The beautiful thing about that, the Seven of Pentacles comes out talking about all of these different ways that you've planted seeds. And this could be all about how you have spread your intention on how you want the future to unfold. You may have planted all of these little seeds in different places, and you are expecting a harvest from everything that you've planted. I feel like this could be around something that is very practical or something tapping into the metaphysics and tapping into the understanding, the laws, the universal laws around uh, abundance. You may be becoming very involved with doing things that align with your beliefs about abundance. And it doesn't have to be very big things. It could just be little simple little seeds that you're planting here and there that show that you actually believe this stuff, right? Believing is in doing. That shows your belief. It's in doing. And so I feel like, yeah, it doesn't feel like you're very, oh, this is a hard one because there's something changing with you, Gemini. There's something changing with you. And I feel like it's the expectation of how and where you get your fulfillment from. It's becoming very um, directed from you, which is a very powerful place to be. Because, I mean, if you understand, like, you can get all, everything that you need from within, then there's not a lot that anyone can do to you or for you unless you allow them. You know, this is a very powerful place to be. And so let's see what else needs to come out. We're talking about Gemini's abundance. This is an interesting reading. I knew that was coming out. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. So we have good outcome, unexpected money, expectation, living room, and fatality. Okay. And so with good outcome, it just says that like whatever's happening right now is happening for you, right? Not to you. We hear that all the time. It's not happening to you, Gemini. It's happening for you. Just wait. You're gonna see why it unfolded the way it did. Um, this could just talk about you being, you know, no matter what way you go, it's going to turn out good, right? And that could simply be because you're very involved, practically and spiritually. I feel like you're someone who is very attuned to and very involved as well with your abundance, whether that's trying to learn more about it, whether trying to manifest it, whether that's trying to tap into it and align yourself with it. Unexpected money comes out. And so, again, I feel like the seeds that you're planting, some of those may be, I know, that will bear a harvest. And so there's a bit of the financial part of your abundance that's showing up here. And I feel this sense of snugness, like you are, like there's no doubt here. There's a bit of um, assuredness here. Like no one can tell you anything different. That's how sure of yourself you are. That's how sure of what it is that you're doing right now, how that's making a difference in your life. I also have living room here. This feels like a very this feels like something that's going to come in and just shift things. There could be things happening right now. That may be why things feel a little bit stifled when it comes to your fulfillment. Things are shifting in a huge way right now. Quick shifts, quick changes taking place with living room. And despite that, though, I do feel when I think of a living room, I think of somewhere that's very comfortable, that's very cozy, where you can just kind of zone out if you wanted to. You know, this feels like you feel like, even though things may not be providing a lot, what it is that you, or what it is that we all desire, for some reason, you may not be aligning with that right now. This emotional fulfillment, maybe you're getting it in other ways. Maybe you're getting it from yourself, but it feels like you are handling this very comfortably. Like you're very, as a matter of factly right now, you're very comfortable and situated in your whatever it is that is happening right now. And I feel like that's because there's this sense of what is the word I'm looking for? Like you are your biggest believer. If don't nobody else believe, you believe and you know, right? Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I also feel like there's a lot of things shifting right now. Fatality has a coffin. It doesn't mean that anybody's dying. That means there's situations that are coming to a close, that they are ending, that it's over, it's done. You know, and so what is this on it? There's something a reef on the ground. Change is being ushered in. So there could be some things that are changing that will definitely affect how you're experiencing life. I want to look this one up. What is that? 19. Yeah. So you may feel a sense of hopelessness when it comes to fate, but there's a sense here of not really needing to control. As you realize that there are certain things about life that are out of your control, there's also the assurance that comes in that maybe we never even had control. And that's come out in everybody's reading today. Something about control, releasing it. I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't come out in your last message. But there's something about this almost feels like the death card in tarot, but upside down. It's like either you're gonna experience this change willingly or kicking and screaming, right? There's something about accepting fate and accepting that sometimes it's the part of fate that is out of our control. And ugh, why is this coming up? Like the fact that there's this very sure, confident energy and just being really relaxed. I feel like spirit might be something that spirit might be testing you, trying to get you a little bit rattled, right? And it's affecting your ability to enjoy life right now for some reason. And this is a time where we're not even talking about new beginnings, right? When this card shows up, because this is all about endings to certain ways and letting go of things. The necessity to grieve and let go, allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling right now associated with ending. Something's going to be affected. And it feels like it's going to be this very comfortable, nonchalant, just kind of like, how you'd be just real comfortable on a afternoon and you don't have nothing to do and you just kind of laying up, lounged on the couch and you're just in la la land. Like I feel like spirit is about to shake some things up for Gemini for some reason. There's going to be an ending to something, and that may be something that will usher in this new way of being for you, this new life. That's the only way that I can put it. Because on this end, we see endings, but we also see that there's something new coming in. So I feel like you can't get to this unless you submit to the ending, unless you submit to this very uncomfortable place where you're not quite sure, you know, how things would turn out. But you have to be open for the ride. There's no way around it. Spirit is saying it does turn out good, but you still have to go through the process. All right. So your abundance, Gemini. Let's see, what is the last message for Gemini? In process right now. Like I believe it's going to be greater levels of abundance. Um, Maybe even in ways that you hadn't even considered abundance to be. It may teach you a little bit more about how you can enjoy life aside from what you've experienced so far. So, last message for you is companionship, okay? Awakening, humility, acceptance, and change. I can't make this up. And I didn't pull these out. These are what came out. Okay. And so for you, there could be um, coming together with someone that's actually going to be a gift. This talks about giving somebody your complete presence, right? Offering yourself up to another is like one of the most beautiful gifts that you can give. This could be what spirit is preparing you for. Right? Before you can become one with someone else or offer yourself up, there has to be like some ways that we um, release ourselves, release the ego part of ourselves. It takes a lot. We always want the fairy tale relationships, but when you look at people who's been married or committed to each other for years, they'll talk about the years of difficulty that it took to stay together. It's hard work. It's hard work. If you can't live with your mama at 35, what makes you think you can live with a woman that you don't know easily? It's not easy. What makes you think that you can live with your father, at 35 and not have complaints? It's not going to happen. So why do you feel like you can live with a man that you hardly know? You know, you only know what they've shown you. You get to see the real parts when you guys are together all the time. Like it's hard work, but it is a gift to give your complete presence to someone. not leaving anything else. So Gemini, you could be about to be experienced this. This could be what this transformation. Okay. There's also uh, awakening to something and allowing yourself to hear uh, through your six senses, like your instincts and your common sense, um, allowing yourself to pay attention and hear and be present, be awake to what's going on around you, and be awake to life in this moment, even if it's not enjoyable right now. Be awake to it and not be afraid to ask for direction and guidance. Whatever you hold as your higher power, right? There is the ability to reach out and ask for help, for assistance, for direction, for guidance. That's called being humble, right? There's a lot we can do on our own, right? But sometimes we come to a place where spirit may be wanting, they may be wanting things to get a little difficult, just so you could come to a place yourself and be like, okay, okay, I need help. Help me, direct me, and that could be we all have names, different ways that we reach out to our higher power, whatever yours is, you know, whatever that is for you, Gemini. This might be a moment where the divine is wanting you to ask for help. It does take, for some people, for some reason, it takes humbling to do that. You know, I don't know why I'm thinking of, was it Jonah, the prophet, who refused to go to Nineveh? And so the story goes that he was, on the water, rowing in a little boat, and a whale came up and just swallowed him whole and kept him in his belly for 3 days. And I know all them 3 days he was grumbling and complaining, but finally, after that third day, he cried out for help and said, "Okay, I'll do it. Get me out of this whale, and I'll do it." And the whale vomited him up, and he went straight on over to Nineveh. Sometimes the divine puts us in difficult situations until we, what do you call that when you're wrestling and they have you in a chokehold until you, what do you call it? Tap out. Until we tap out, right? It may be one of those situations where it's just the fact that sometimes we need to be open for the help, right? We can do a million things on our own, but there's some things that we can't. Some things we need attention, right? Um, and then being in the energy of just being accepting, radical acceptance is one of the greatest positions that we can be in a position to just be accepting of whatever is. Understanding that there is such a thing as destiny for each one of us. And there is a path that each one of us has been given that we're traveling on. And so there's something about being accepting of where we are right now, like that energy of gratitude. There's more than just saying thank you, but it's a posture of being open to what's happening right now that unlocks this door to what's about to happen next, right? It unlocks the door to what's about to happen next. Radical acceptance, aka gratitude, right? And so there's something about these energies that's coming up for you, Gemini, just being in the moment, being open to the flow of the moment, not having to direct it, not having to even understand it, just being open to it. Thus comes this energy of change that we were just talking about. And it does talk about the ego. It does talk about finally uh, seeing the need to try to have things go a certain way, um, and coming to a place where we no longer have to do that. That is our place of evolution. That is where the abundance flows in for you, Gemini. That's where the abundance flows for you. Even as I'm looking at this picture, it's crazy. Um, the all of the arms, I see a total of 8 arms here. It's like so much abundance where you won't even be able to hold it. You won't even be able to hold it all. So much abundance is flowing in or waiting to flow in for you. But there's lessons along the way. There are certain things that spirit wants to give us because abundance is not just money, but it's peace as well. Feel like for somebody that is like the epitome of abundance for you right now, especially with this Five of Swords coming out. Peace is abundance. Having a pure, clean, a right mind is like worth $1 million. Having a good night's sleep is worth more than, you know, $1 million for some people. And so there's something about your abundance and you meeting yourself at the place of your calling. This is where your abundance lies, Gemini. And this is where your satisfaction, your fulfillment, even financial gain from what I'm seeing here with the Seven of Pentacles and the unexpected money coming out. Like everything that you need to enjoy life is available. And sometimes you need to ask, like, where is it? Help me to see it. Help me find it. What am I missing? What do I need to do? Just simple questions. Spirit could be just waiting for you to ask. But there's something here about you stepping in right now. You're stepping in right now and engaging with what it is that you've come to do with full authority, with full power, right? This is your abundance. Sometimes we don't even need money to feel abundant. Just the fact that we could be surrounded by family that love us. We have someone that we share our life with at the end of the day. Like that's more than any amount of money. Because there are people that have like millions and millions of dollars in the bank and sometimes don't even want to exist anymore. They wish for it to be all over. It's to that point. And so that lets us know that abundance it has to be more than money. That's a part of it because we do want to live and provide for ourselves and not have to worry when the next bill is going to be due. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Spirit says there's so much more here. And I feel like a lot of it aligns with us stepping into what we've come to do. That two-edged sword, when you fulfill and cause others to be abundant, that opens up the abundance for you. So for you, something here about stepping in to your path, to your authority, to your power, and doing what you've been called to do. Yeah, this is your abundance. That's beautiful. I like it. Something is changing for you. And whatever that is, I feel like it's going to open. It's going to open the floodgates for you. And I'm not saying the change is easy. I'm not saying it's enjoyable, but you know, sometimes there's a price. Uh, you know, we've all had to pay something to get to our abundance. I know I have. I absolutely have. And so this is what I feel is beautiful, though, is that um, there's something about you being really tapped in, like there's certain parts of this experience. It's like you have no shadow of a doubt, like you're zoned into it, like clockwork, right? And so um, your abundance is in process. It may be in process of changing as it's increasing and shifting to something greater, something more long lasting, something even more, uh, something that you can expect from yourself. It's not so much outwardly directed, but it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everything mixed in to create this unique abundance called in for Gemini. Unfortunately, right now, I feel like that you're in the hard part of that process. It feels like for some of you, but trouble don't last always. There is a reward when this is done. Okay. And so saying first, Gemini, that is for you. Says the energy that with cards your behalf as it pertains to your abundance. It boils down to being the choice, right? To claim it, to claim it, stepping into your power, your authority in this world. Like there's something I feel like that you've been called to do. You don't have to be afraid of it. For a lot of you, you already know the power that you hold. Sometimes it's a matter of what you're choosing to do with it. But that's what I have for you, Gemini. Your abundance. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led. Leticia is my name. Latin Oracle is the channel. Thank you for stopping by, Gemini. I will see you all next time. I'll be here with my voice. That's when they're coming in and starting to talk. This message was for you, Gemini. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Presence free. See you next time. Bye.